But now, their stories clash. Here, there can only be one. Law and Order versus Madness. The Decree versus the Decay. Rule 1 versus Twisted Minds begins now.
A regional dispute has spilled onto international grounds. Rule 1, the #1 seed from MENA will face down Twisted Minds, who scraped through the wild card to be here.
Friends off the pitch, but we are well and truly on it now. As this day continues, the crowd is here, the players are down there waiting to compete. Normally, James, this one though, it goes the way of Rule 1.
It really does. Rule 1 has been dominant in this matchup, dominant in their region. We saw them get top 4 in Boston. They are the reason Twisted Minds were even able to play at the World Championship. Rule 1 is without a doubt the favorite here.
Twisted Minds though, it's always different on stages like these, sure. Rule 1 has that extra experience. They beat Complexity at the Spring Major. They've played in front of crowds before, but so has Twisted Minds. Such a great LAN environment over there in the Middle East. So many teams bubbling to the surface, and these are the 2 best of the rest, including Falcons.
Seeing some good possession here early for Rule 1. The back pass to Mostyn. One for the air dribble. We saw a lot of air dribble bump success in Boston from Rule 1. This event, they have been struggling to get their offense going.
Senzo on the ball right there, a man who stepped in for Sandrock Gaming back in fall of last year. He'd already quit the game at that point, coming back and showing just what it would have been missing had he not done so. And it's a decent start here for Twisted Minds. Starting fast, showing their pace, not looking like they're stretching themselves, which is what happened to them so often before. They had to make it deep into the Swiss in order to qualify.
Almost reverse swept out of the Swiss. Twisted Minds have had to fight tooth and nail to get here. Now have a chance. SMW up, goes for goal, and there's a save from Rawas.
Showing the danger of Twisted Minds straight away, and there's a follow-up as well from a Twisted Minds player. SMW keeps the attack going. Does he have a pass in the middle? He gets it over the top. Rawas, one of the best defenders in the world, is able to just leave that ball alone, but it's early warning signs from Twisted Minds.
And Rawas also deadly on the offensive end. We saw a wonderful double tap from Rawas against G2, even though Rule 1 was not able to win that series. Oh, there's the tangle on the goal line. Rule 1 now trying to fight their way out.
Rule 1 from their 1 series so far, leading this tournament in save percentage, but that was a couple of shaky moments in front of their own goal line. By what we expect from them, experimenting with this more aggressive play style, maybe leading them into 1 or 2 problems. But the best of 7 series is a long old thing, and while they've started second best, they won't be scared just yet. Venom might change that. He elicits fear. He gets the flip reset. Ruas closes him down, and Senzo has to sweep up.
Senzo stretching high for that. This could be a chance here for Rule 1, but excellent defense there from SMW. Now Venom going airborne, looking for his first goal of the group stage. And when bounces off the backboard, still a chance. Flip reset, double tap attempt. That's going to go wide.
Rule 1 living a charmed life at the moment. MENA's best team on paper, but Twisted Minds are looking like they're just that little bit better. Venom gets past one of them. SMW into the center. Could be 1-0. What a block there. Another couple of opportunities go awry.
And you saw what they wanted to do. They wanted to slow down that shot, try to lure the defense into lunging past the ball, but good composure from Rule 1, whose defense continues to perform.
Yeah, Rule 1, they're trying to take everything down to the ground. Want to take these touches and dribble it past Twisted Minds, but Twisted Minds are stacking the defense. Currently, Rule 1 are falling for it, going for these low 50s, and that's exactly what TM want.
Venom trying to push this ball up. SMW thinking about setting it up. Senzo now goes. Sends it out to the corner. We are still scoreless. This game has been neck and neck. Not many scoring chances. Rule 1 getting demoed there. Rawas taken out by SMW. Now Venom trying to pop it up and over, but a great challenge from Mostyn, who has no boost to get up and over that ball.
Kalias keeps it going though. SMW can only get it as far as the center where Rawas is waiting. Mostyn does the same. He knows that Senzo can clear this one in the end. Let's it drop to Kalias. Rule 1 starting to mount an attack. Can they keep it going? That's been the question so far in Game 1. Twisted Minds are coming away with every loose ball, and that will be the same again. Rule 1, where is your passing?
Rawas gets it around 1. Oncoming defender. Kalias, the MVP for MENA. Goes for the pass in, but that's broken up Could be a numbers advantage here for Twisted Minds, who get shut down again from Rawas. That shot, and roll right over to Clears.
Senzo currently playing red hot. The pace he's showing. Rule 1 is struggling to deal with it over and over again. Ruas just slows things down. That's what Rule 1 need to do, but it's backfired, and the challenge makes it TM 1-0.
And that's the first goal for Venom in the group stage. He snipes it out. A little bit anticlimactic. You saw the touch from Rawas, got away from him, perhaps trying to roll that ball up the wall, and Venom saw that touch be a bit out of control. It jumped right on it.
Venom and Twisted Minds show they're not just pace merchants. They can challenge with the best of them, not fall for Rule 1's tricks. And now Rule 1 have to up the pace themselves. Senzo's in the air. Out there to Mossen, who gets charged down by Senzo. Venom backflips. This could be something for Rule 1.
Well, there's a bump as well. This could be space, but Rawas used up all the boost. Nice touch, though. And there's another 50. Rawas trying to power his way through. But unfortunately for Rule 1, comes up empty-handed. Now the rebound out, and that's blocked by SMW.
Ending it with a swarm of attack here from Rule 1. They go again. Mossen, SMW in front of him. That one's going to fall to the ground. Ruas is there. Can he get the pass round the corner? No, he can't, because Senzo charges him, and Twisted Minds take a nervy game 1.
Oh, and you know, this is really what we've seen from Rule 1. When they've struggled offensively, they just cannot get anything going. And you look to Clears to be that spark, to be that player. One of the top scorers in Boston, top 5 in scoring, was a key part of their offense, but it was missing out there. Twisted Minds, it looked like a routine game for them. They really didn't have that many chances where you're thinking, oh, maybe Twisted Minds will get scored on. They had that game locked down.
Yeah, they did. They had fewer ball touches, but overall, even though they had to make 4 saves, you never really felt like Rule 1 were going to compound the little pockets of pressure that they had. It was general good play from Twisted Minds.
It certainly was, and we see on the Mobile 1 High Performance replay, that touch that got away from Rawas, that was all it took to give Twisted Minds enough space to barge their way through to get that first win. And you even saw on the scoreboard there briefly the amount of demos in favor of Twisted Minds getting very aggressive. This does not look like the same Rule 1 that we saw in Boston, Cole.
I mean, it hasn't for a little while as well. It's the same story that we saw from them against G2 those couple of days ago, where they just don't seem to be that terrifying version of themselves that we know that they can be, that ascended them to the top of this great region of Middle East and North Africa. They have to talk to each other. They have to turn it around. The good news, James, best of 7, long match.
A lot of time, and we've seen it before. I mean, even with Twisted Minds up against the Falcons, you really just can never count the game and the series over. Twisted Minds trying to do something great, trying to take down the top seed out of MENA. Perhaps surprised to even find themselves here in Düsseldorf. And what a thanks that would be, Cole, to knock out the team that got you here.
What a thanks it would be, but what a tale it would be as well. Twisted Minds, having watched the conversation jump for so long between Rule 1, between Falcons. Suddenly they come in and they put all the pressure on. It's almost 1-0 at the start of game 2. It still could be. Senzo gets the flip reset. He fakes it out. SMW is there. Saved by Clears. Rule 1 show they can defend.
Great defense there from Clears, but again, low boost. Trying to 50 as much as possible. Mossen will keep the attack going. Retreat from Clears allows him to get that boost. Now going airborne. Heading for net. SMW and Senzo get tied up. They both go for the ball. Now a backward pass. The double tap as well. It sets it up, and it looked like Clears was also bumped. Now backwards. Not able to keep that attack going, and the attack will fizzle out.
Mossen, who's so used to being sidelined by the Twins, the player that everyone talks about, who was very impressive back in Boston. He has to be so again now, but it's Clears who has the attack. Tipped over the top from Venom, and Venom can recover in time and pick up some boost. Still 0-0. Both teams had chances.
Didn't have the power on that shot. SMW safely tapping it to the corner. Rawash going for the infield pass. Up early, Clears shot wide. Back pass to Mossen. Mossen going for a 50. Another 50 gets help from Clears. It bounces straight up off the ceiling. And now Venom will break up the play. Rawash dives in. And now this is a counterattack. But Clears quickly able to get to that ball in the midfield. Gonna do it all himself.
It all came from a Twisted Minds bump in the center as SMW and Venom get in each other's way. Then poor old Venom, it ends up spooning over the top of him, and Clears scores the open net.
And I think Venom was surprised that Clears turned into that ball. You could see a moment there where Venom boosted, perhaps thinking that Clears is not gonna challenge this. No way. Ends up actually getting a crazy touch that helps out Rule 1 on that play. And Rule 1 able to get on the board finally off that excellent effort there from Clears.
Rule 1 potentially with fate on their side. So far, Twisted Minds have been swept from 3-0 up, have been swept from 2-0 up, and have been swept from 0-0. The only scoreline they haven't conceded 4 games in a row against has been 1-0 up. Teammates warned them on the desk not to win the first one. They made that mistake, and Rule 1 are coming back, but they have to defend now. Venom past a couple of them. Ruas in the corner. He's so comfortable in those situations, keeps it at 1-0.
But certainly is going to be remembering the only goal of last game, and there's another defensive mistake, and Venom will capitalize again!
Twisted Minds prove once again they do not care about fate or our narrative. Sure, they've lost more games against Rule 1 across the course of the season, even since bringing in Venom at the start of spring. But that doesn't matter here, that doesn't matter at Worlds, and that doesn't matter in the lower brackets.
Rule 1, been a bit shaky on defense. And Venom has been that secret weapon to get it by him. SMW, go flip reset. It's going for a bump, lands the bump. Now a shot for Senzo! Senzo cleans up!
Class from Venom. The flip reset was a little bit in front of him, but he didn't give up on the play. Instead, he gets 2 of them out of the way, and then he gets the assist. Senzo's there, and Senzo scores.
And where you're wondering where the challenge is. Rule 1 had 2 players in the exact same spot. The one that didn't go, well, guess what? They get bumped.
Now, Twisted Minds, with the lead again, they will be incredibly happy how this series is going so far. Just thrown away all the history of the region. Clears, though, he gets it going again for Rule 1, but where is his boost? He has to dodge into it, and he's taken out the game as well. There's more demos in the corner. The game becoming a little bit scrappy, and I tell you what, Twisted Minds won't mind that, but they will with Ruas chasing this one down, but he can't quite connect again. It remains 2-1.
Already 4 demos in this game for Rule 1. There's the drop down pass, but Clears didn't have it read. There's a bump out of the way. Ruas trying to force the issue, but nothing doing. Venom shut down, but possession back in the hands of Senzo, who lobs it towards the backboard, controlled by Ruas. Ruas up and over SMW. Now another good 50. Mawson creeping in, now goes for goal. It's going to be wide. Looking for that rebound play. This one wrapping around the net, up above the bar. SMW air dribbling it out to the side. It's stopped back out to the middle, and Senzo will boom it downfield.
That's all they want to do, take it to the skies. Rule 1 keeping it low. Can they break through these Twisted Minds defenses? Can they breach them? They might there. There's a miss from Senzo. Clears was in the end, it's Ruas, and he takes the open goal, and it's 2-2.
And this now, a mistake here from Twisted Minds. You saw Senzo not able to get a touch on the ball. Venom, I think, panicking, finding that ball floating back to him, not having much time to react, ends up putting it right into the hands of Rule 1.
A little bit of inexperience there from Twisted Minds, the team that have not made a major. Maybe the first sign that it does make a difference. But Senzo will let that one roll. Good time taking from him. Almost gets it under the bottom of Mawson. That one's into the center. Clears and Mawson chasing it. Clears needs to get this double touch and does. Twisted Minds launching something. Can they get it past Rule 1?
SMW trying to work something in the air. Clears tipping by Senzo Venom, keeping it in the corner. And you can see the aggression again. Venom bumping Ruas off the ball. This is a shot opportunity. Backboard rebound, but Clears, he gets demoed. Space now for Venom, who passes to Senzo. Senzo will opt to take it up the wall. Now off the ceiling, SMW receives the pass, but the shot will go wide.
Venom keeps it going, though. The attack continues to the backboard, but SMW had headed all the way back. Now Ruas can flick it forward. SMW is maybe sensing overtime. Venom might change that.
Ruas downfield, will Senzo keep it in play? He does, gives up the ball, and Mawson will drop it down. Overtime, game 2, tied 2-2. Rule 1 looking to get one.
Can they do it? Have to get themselves on the scoreboard. Have to return to this series. SMW gets it past them. Is Senzo in? Not quite. Another danger sign for Rule 1.
Ruas demoed again, and there's a long shot. Mawson trying to keep possession. SMW lays off. Now Venom moves in. And that demo, did Venom get that boost? It looks like no, but still managed to get that demo.
Senzo over touch. Pass from Rule 1 players in the air. Where's Ruas? He's there. Oh, it's SMW. How has he read that one? Ruas turns around. Gets it onto the crossbar. Venom has got no boost. There's nothing. And finally, Twisted Minds can't hold on anymore.
panic. You saw Venom, 0 boost, just trying to hit the ball off the goal line when there was nobody oncoming. That was a scary situation to be in, but needed to just take a moment and calculate if there was a way to get it out. But Rule 1, that was overwhelming pressure at the end, and they managed to win that overtime. It looked shaky from them still, but they'll be happy to walk away with a game win.
A small glimpse into the level of control that Rule 1 expects every time they play this game, certainly when they play a team from their own region, dominating the ball, dominating the storyline, and finally getting their goal. No matter how many saves Twisted Minds make, there's just another Rule 1 player there. Are we finally seeing the version of them we saw in Boston and we've seen throughout the season?
I still think we have not seen Rule 1 at their maximum power level. This one, you know, a result of a panic clear off the goal line right there. You saw SMW and Venom both there. Could have taken a little bit more time on that ball, but hitting it right out in front of net with 0 boost, that is a death sentence. And Twisted Minds will pay the price for it. But Rule 1, you know, they came in as the #1 seed. They have a dominant record against this roster, 6-1 in the head-to-head. But right now, Twisted Minds are hanging in there.
Senzo, who thinks that the Toyota Camry is the best car. Just in general, there is no better car, apparently, than a Toyota Camry. A controversial opinion for any petrol heads out there, but, you know, Senzo's welcome to it. And I feel like Twisted Minds, despite losing that game, won't be overly disappointed with the series so far.
No, they are hanging right in there. In Rule 1, still trying to find that solution to the offense that's been eluding them. There's a pass over to Ruas, the 50, and Senzo will save it off the bar, and a hit over to safety by SMW. Venom with boost. They're trying to keep it going, doing wonderful. Also snacks the mid, has SMW waiting for the pass infield, but Mostyn will take him out with a demo.
Happening more and more regularly though for Twisted Minds, having to have heroics in defense. That back line being met over and over. Mostyn tries to make it happen again, but Venom backwards is able to get him at bay, at least for now. It's a passing play emerging. Kalias takes that one, but Senzo was waiting, and Senzo can boom.
Nice demo in the midfield. Twisted Minds able to stop that attack in its tracks. And there's an awkward ball! Venom pounces once more! Every time Rule 1 does not get the best touch, Venom is there to finish the job.
He never gives up on the play. He knew exactly what was going to happen from Mostyn's clearance, had nowhere to go except into the greedy car that he was controlling.
Twisted Minds back on top once more. It really has felt like they've dictated the tempo of this series so far. Backward pass attempt, Venom. Oh, you saw what they were going for.
Yeah, chance for a pinch there. Twisted Minds starting to have some fun now. That's what we want to see, the flair on top of the pace, on top of the belief, on top of the pushes forward. Mostyn, though, will clear it. Kalias is there. He has a teammate in the middle. Is it maybe too obvious the pass? It was for SMW. He knew what they were cooking. And then he's taken out for good luck.
Ross trying to use up all his boost to run away. Still wasn't able to dodge that demo. Now clears. Heavy first touch. We'll just have to 50 it over. Mostyn getting bumped off the ball. Venom and SMW both in danger getting tangled up, but SMW doing well to clear that to a safe spot.
Yeah, good comms. Good call from SMW, but the ball will come right back at them. Venom avoided Ruas, and that's a good challenge from SMW. Senzo's in, using his Octane. Not quite the Toyota that's the best car. Venom has Senzo in the middle. Can he find him? Instead, he goes solo. Twisted Minds starting to do that a little bit more now. Want the ball for themselves. Just like SMW showing determination as well. Senzo's there, Mostyn in front of him. He gets the flip reset. Shouldn't come to too much, but Twisted Minds looking dangerous.
Nice,
and they are reading Rule 1 like a book right now.
And you can see how confident they are. SMW turning off that ball, making that fake happen, trying to mix it up, be unpredictable. They've kept this ball locked in the corner. Now it's the shot, forces a double commit from Rule 1. Ball back to SMW, lobbing it to the corner. Now back towards net. Nobody's home, but you see the defense able to get back just in time. SMW slowed down the approach.
The ball just would not fall. They were praying for it to happen, Twisted Minds, and they weren't so lucky. Rule 1. They were the ones whose prayers were answered. They keep on going as well. Ruas over Venom, who's looking a little bit outpaced right now, has to get himself back in the game. He chases. Will he reach this one first? He doesn't. It's Mostyn towards SMW. Mostyn now beaten by SMW, and a demo will clear things up. Venom finally has a clear shot on the ball. It's saved by Ruas.
This demo has gained so much ground for Twisted Minds. It allowed Twisted Mind to move up, steal that mid boost, and keep the attack going. Now Rule 1 hoping that flick will do something. It's shut down early, clears. Backing around, Senzo, a little late to the ball. Roas now moving in, Mawson in the middle. There's the pass. Mawson going for the double, bounces straight down. Venom had it. Clears only a single small pad to work with. And that slowed down, but now the defense breaking up for Twisted Minds. Venom wasn't able to get that cleared out. Low boost situation here for Twisted Minds.
They're defending so well with such little boost though. Rarely seeming stretched despite the fact that Rule 1 are controlling everything on the pitch. Ruas, he's got 100. He's taking it all the way over the top, but SMW met him in the air. All it's going to lead to, though, is one more attack for Rule 1 until Senzo comes in. Twisted Mind stepping up, one man after the other. Finally, Venom breaks free. Kalia stops him. Ruas takes a touch, and Rule 1 are going to go again. It's mounting, but Twisted Minds are making it so difficult for Rule 1.
Mawson finding Ruas. Breakout opportunity here, Rule 1. There's the air dribble, rebound out. Mawson, head-to-head with SMW, there's a shot back. Can Ruas get back? No, he can't!
Twisted Minds now have some insurance.
In the second game, Rule 1 equalized, and they took the overtime in dominant fashion. This time, Twisted Minds say no overtime this time around. We will show such patience, which for a team that relies on pace, is incredibly impressive game control.
Twisted Minds playing with confidence. SMW, even though he's bumped, battles back to the ball. Senzo looking for a pass, dodged a bump himself. This will go over his head. Venom back to the corner. High hit from Mawson. Clears. Trying to take it back down to the ground, but didn't have the time. SMW shutting that down.
Venom could be launching a third here. He chases it down. Mawson, how do you avoid the dunk? He does on that occasion. But SMW yet again, every second gone is another victory right now for Twisted Minds. Ruas avoids the demo, but he can't get the ball far enough. Twisted Minds blocking everything.
Twisted Minds, it looks like they have another game in the bag. Rule 1, not able to score a single goal. Shut down and shut out. Rule 1, the offense continues to plague them. Twisted Minds, they are in the zone.
Rule 1 fought every second, but Twisted Minds had constant answers until Venom just puts the cherry on top of Twisted Minds' best performance so far of the day. As it's hotting on, the team that made it through the wild card are improving. They're getting better and better. And Rule 1 haven't seen a Twisted Minds that looks like this before.
They really haven't. Twisted Minds there are popping off. You see Venom really, to me, has been the key for Twisted Minds. Came into this series, did not score a single goal. First series in the group stage, and then comes out and has been putting on a show. Every time Rule 1 makes a touch that's less than ideal, Venom is there to cause damage.
And as we can see from the high performance replay, it has been very difficult for Rule 1 to deal with. And as expected, they have taken themselves a tactical time out. They'll be spending this time talking things through, seeing what can be changed as we go forward in this series.
And you feel like they had to call this timeout, Cole. It's been all Twisted Minds. Even though the game that Rule 1 won, it was an overtime game, felt like it could have gone either way. It is time to break the glass and slam that panic button. This is your World Championship. This is your season. Everything is coming down to this.
Well, James, we could talk about it, but I'd rather hear what a coach has to say. Leaf is with Marky. Oh, Snasky.
We changed that. Snasky. You look good, Marky. We have Snasky here, coach of Oxygen, to break down the match. So what's your analysis so far on this matchup, and what would you be saying to the players during this?
Well, I think both the teams look quite nervous, so I think I'd use this timeout to, try and calm them down. Make sure that they're feeling good, and especially for Rule 1, who's beaten the opponents this many times, you'd imagine that that's all they need. They know each other so well, so, just make sure that everybody's relaxed, everybody's comfortable. Yeah, and it should be good.
I assume that this is the right timeout, because you said no matter what, a timeout's coming after this. Why is it so important for them to have a timeout at this moment?
Well, it's a good way to reset your mentality, but also to just clean up small errors. And as I said, they know each other very well, so they will definitely both know how they play. So yeah, it's just
Good time for it. Okay, well, let's get back to the matchup with the casters.
Apologies, Snasky. Of course, Snasky was there with Leaf, and interesting points he was making. There come time in series where whatever happens, you have to take that minute extra.
Oh, and it does look like they're nervous. I mean, especially Rule 1, but honestly, Twisted Minds has looked really confident. We saw some fakes in the corner. SMW, I remember the play, he swerved off the ball, being quite bold, and now SMW is stepping up defensively, getting a touch save, but you see Venom also jumping out there. Low boost hit downfield from SMW. And so Rule 1, they come out swinging, but still those punches blocked by Twisted Minds.
Oh, almost on the other end. Twisted Minds get their goal despite Rule 1's improvements at the start of Game 4. Twisted Minds still dangerous. As SMW is up, he chases it up against Mossen. Wants to get the flip reset, but can't quite do it. Twisted Minds haven't lost their confidence despite the break.
And that was a good bump off the ball. Rule 1 was trying to take it up the wall in the corner, bumped right off, but now Rawas going for an early pass,
the back pass from Mossen, but a bump off the ball still. The rebound out. The physicality from Twisted Minds has been on that next level.
The touch, though, was stunning from Rule 1. Sadly, the bump stole away a beautiful goal. We all would have enjoyed watching that one again. We might this one. Mossen, this time, he sinks it.
And we're seeing more confidence with the infield passes from Rule 1. Rawas nailing that across the field. Mossen going for the top shelf and it nails it. Wonderful play there from Rule 1. Looking much more confident. They're going for it. They're moving that ball. They're not trying to just control it and wait for the 50s. Now they're looking for those passes.
They've had the tonic of having the fear removed from them by their coach. But every set it seems to be working, but they have to do some defending now. Twisted Minds coming right back. Ruas punts it forward. SMW's already up. Look at Mossen, look at the pace of him now. Rule 1 have just stepped up 2 or 3 gears. Senzo has to read this one. He doesn't, it's underneath him. Venom has the same thing happen against Mossen. And now SMW. He's the one who comes away with it. He wants to get the double. He does, it's over the top. And Mossen sends it out wide.
Oh, that was quite the effort there from SMW. SMW, I feel like out of all the players out there, has looked the most loose. Has looked comfortable. Trying to make a shot like that, that would have been a statement, but Rule 1, they're able to hold on. Now, clears into a flip, reset the shot! Blocked there by SMW.
And Ruas helping him with a demo as well, so Rule 1 starting to clear the Twisted Minds path. Ruas is found by Mossen. SMW on the back can clear it long, but this is what we saw in overtime in Game 2. Rule 1 putting on the squeeze, almost choking the life out of Twisted Minds.
Venom, hard hit downfield, too far for Senzo to get to, but Senzo did snag that 100 boost. Mossen not able to get to that ball again. There's a pass opportunity. Had that pass connected, that could have been dangerous.
Ruas can have a chance of his own now. He can just wait for this one. Rule 1, despite having their ascendancy, haven't fallen for the trap of trying to play too quickly. Maybe the mistake they made against G2. Keeping composure, keeping control. That's the key to their victory right now against Twisted.
Speaking of control, you saw Mossen just tap that ball up, go steal the corner, go for the demos. Mossen has stepped up his game like you mentioned earlier. Mossen now flip reset, trying to march downfield. Clears though, getting dunked on, and that's going to send it all the way back to the Rule 1 corner.
Yeah, but how's the read here from Senzo? It's a little bit weak. Rule 1 was already there. Kalias gets it past SMW. Rule 1 once more have broken the lines. Kalias with an all-important touch onto the back wall, which SMW can just watch and wait. Twisted Minds doing the same. They're not overspeeding themselves. Benamy shoots. It's saved by Ruas, but a rare foray forward from Twisted Minds.
Oh, and again, the ball not controlled there from Rule 1. They still managed to get back on top of it, but Senzo doesn't let the passing play come out. There's a dunk still, and Senzo gets to the line just in time. Had 0 time to think about any rebound opportunities, just had to lunge to keep that out.
Well, Venom leaves that one for Senzo. I wondered if he could get an interlinking touch. Instead, he trusted his teammate, but the pass is met once again by Ruas. Such a high-level defender, and the demo as well. But
another demo attempt.
He can take out Mossen. Ruas is there. SMW shoot. Oh! Saved by Kalias.
Multiple layers to that bump approach from Twisted Minds. Looked like they had done enough to clear the way. The clears in Rule 1, able to keep that ball out.
Kalias chases it down as well. Rule 1, 1 goal up. Venom, all he can do is backflip. He's got no momentum at all. Still he gets a nudge on Ruas, enough to slow him down. But Rule 1 won't mind too much if they keep the ball here. And Kalias, he can launch an attack. Ruas is there. This might sting Game 4. It's put wide, and Ruas pushes it wider.
Ruas was still in the air from that first challenge. Ended up making contact. Gets it by 2. Roas going for the 50, and he does it beautifully.
The man to end some famous 1v1 streaks shows us why. His control in a 1v1 situation knew exactly what to do there to double up Rule 1's lead.
We've seen that before from Roas. Just get that ball in front of his car, he'll do the rest. Rule 1, they respond after that timeout. Things could have gotten out of hand, but immediately we saw the adjustments. Rule 1, going for those infield passes. Mawson being upfield, playing as quick as he possibly can. This Rule 1 team, they were forced back much less. They were the aggressor in Game 4.
Yeah, even the game they won until the overtime, Rule 1 were not looking like the region's best team. This is their reminder, that's exactly what they are.
Just get it into a dribble. Look for that pass. This has worked for him before. Great control there from Austin. And that is just a cherry on top.
That's the game style they've been looking to do since Game 1. The problem was they weren't flicking at the right moment. They weren't taking the right decision when confronted with a Twisted Minds defender. All of that changes in Game 4, and this series becomes very, very difficult to predict.
I mean, just looking at that game, Cole, this looked like a completely different Rule 1 team. It looks like things have finally clicked for them offensively. They've stopped giving Twisted Minds so much space. They've started taking space of their own. They've been able to get a little bit of separation on those dribbles, whereas in the past, it seems like Twisted Minds was always right on top of them.
Exactly what we want to see as well, James. This is one that I think a lot of people had a look at and they thought, not only could this go to 7, this should go to 7. That's what the people are hoping for. Twisted Minds will hope otherwise, and they have taken their tactical timeout.
Oh, that is interesting already. Both timeouts will be burned. Twisted Minds hoping to slow down Rule 1. And Cole, that is the right time. Rule 1, they seem to have made the right adjustments and were really firing on all cylinders in Game 4.
Yeah, Kalias was so much more involved. Roas was looking like the defender we expected, and Mosan interlinking everything Rule 1 were attempting to do. It's the blueprint that Rule 1 showed to such effect as they made top 4 in Boston to get Twisted Minds here in the first place, and to also have such a successful season locally as well. Twisted Minds, do they stick or do they twist? Was that one game that they can ignore, or is there something they have to tweak going forward?
I think they just have to get back to being confident and just try to bring it to Rule 1. Continue to be aggressive. We saw so many demo attempts from them that nearly worked out. For Twisted Minds, we know that they have what it takes, but Rule 1, the team that made that top 4 run in Boston, the team that made the top 8 to skip straight to the main event, the #1 seed out of MENA. They're just starting to level up their own game, Cole.
Yeah, exactly. There was always more in the locker for Rule 1. Twisted Minds not only would have anticipated that, they've experienced it before. A team that has beaten them 3-1 since Twisted Minds brought in Venom and had such a successful final split. Constantly a thorn in their side, and they reminded us why right then. For Twisted Minds, in my opinion, it's a case of just chucking everything at it. Either team has another life left. You lose here, you are out. It's a relatively successful season, but not the glorious one that you crave.
And there's still time. We're back to where we started, level ground, tied at 2 games apiece. But one team will have to drop this game. One team will be on match point. Let's see how this goes. Rule 1 on a win streak. We saw things start out heavily in favor of Twisted Minds, but Rule 1, they've been confident.
I want to see if Rule 1 continue to control the floor. That was their best asset, actually, in this whole match it's been, but finally it worked out fully for them there in Game 4. It's in the air at the moment. Ruas to the walls. SMW in front of him. SMW just trying to block him out any way he can. Ruas has conceded goals like that in this series, overplaying in that very corner. Thankfully, he's learned from it, though. Kalias almost gets the bump on Senzo. Mosan comes in. This is what Rule 1 were attempting. This is what they're always attempting. Slowly move the ball forward. Try and make it happen. Don't rush anything, but that mischanges things.
Austin playing so much better in these later games. It was really the start of the comeback here for Rule 1, especially in that last game. Austin happy to be upfield. And now it's Roas's turn. Shut down, though, from SMW. Austin will catch it on the dribble. Picks up the boost.
wanted to take it airborne, but Venom was there quickly to challenge.
Every time Rule 1 have the ball in their half, Twisted Minds charge forward, try and pincer them. Rule 1 escaping at the moment, attempting to break the press. It's Ruas again in the corner. Senzo nipping at his heels. Venom is the player that it falls to. SMW was going for Mossen. Quite able to get him, but Mossen's touch was awkward. That one's going to come straight down with Kalias on the backboard. Good defending again from Rule 1. But you can definitely see what these two teams are thinking. Twisted Minds may be a little bit more generous, but Rule 1 with more of the ball.
Twisted Minds keeps lobbing that ball high towards Rule 1, hoping that they make another mistake. It's a demo from behind. Mossen was hoping to get it up and over. Venom does get a tip on that ball, keeping it in the corner. SMW hoping to control.
Ooh, 50. Does control for a second. That was going to come so high, though. It's dangerous right now for Twisted Minds. Rule 1 get away with it.
Ruas, again, a heavy first touch. Hits by him. Ruas has been struggling with those touches in the corner. And we're see a demo on Mossen from SMW.
It's just a nervy time right now in this series. Both teams, just trying to sense what the other one is attempting, and I think they have an idea. It's really a case of who overcommits first, who makes the mistake. Mossen's coming towards his own goal. Venom shoots, and it can't be saved. Twisted Minds have their lead.
And Twisted Minds, they are taking shot after shot after shot, and eventually it pays off. Venom able to put that rebound in top shelf. And Twisted Minds, they get the lead in game 5. Can they hold on to it?
There's a tip upfield. Ruas will get the ball.
High pass over to Kalias, but Kalias couldn't get around it. SMW, you were wondering if he was going to get bumped from that player coming out of the net, but able to hit that over to the corner.
Rule 1 coming out hot despite going behind. Venom, though, almost gets in ahead of the Rule 1 teams, as he always wants to do. He turns on the ball, cuts across the midfield where Kalias was waiting. Ruas is in, Mossan right at the back. Kalias flicks it along, Ruas into the corner. It's difficult for him. Senzo is almost called into action in the corner. And Venom takes control. Twisted Minds, the more control they have of the ball, the happier they will be, especially with huge clearances like that, which Kalias just about gets out wide.
Clears. Awkward ball. You see him trying to backflip towards that. Mossen back down to the ball. Great 50 from SMW, who's wrapping around the corner. Infield pass. Senzo was hoping to tip that off the backboard. Now hard hit back to the middle. Senzo lets it through. SMW now to the wall. That pinch will send it back. Possession now for Rule 1.
A bit of pinball there in the goal line in a dangerous territory. Kalias flicks it along. Venom into the center. Twisted Minds arriving. Senzo shoots yet again. A rare clear touch for Venom. For Senzo, and Twisted Minds in general. Here is Venom up against Mossen. Ball is high. Twisted Minds doing a great job of keeping Rule 1 pinned, especially with dunks like that one.
Venom just getting in the way and hoping they hit it into him. SMW back pass. Venom up and over Ruas, though, will find Kalias. But Venom takes Ruas out. Boost for Senzo. No one to pass to. You saw that demo mix up the rotations for Rule 1.
Venom, who's been involved in 6 of Twisted Minds' last 7 goals, is leading the charge as we speak for Twisted Minds. He's got the ball in the corner again. Come on, Kalias. Try and get it off me, he says. Kalias can't do that. Rule 1, though, bubbling to the surface. Can they break through?
Oh, there was the demo in net. Rebound blocked by SMW. This is going all the way downfield. Mossen needs to tip it high. Gets it over the corner and does enough to prevent SMW from putting in a second goal for Twisted Mind.
Rule 1 have to do more, though. They have to score, or else they face a couple of match points. Mossen booms it long. Desperate times for Rule 1. Great cut across by Kalias, but it just falls to Senzo. Where is the next Rule 1 player? Venom has one, but it's not a pass. It's going to be a goal.
Ruas to Kalias. Kalias has to punch it down. You wonder if he's out of boost. Venom will waste even more time, and there's a
min! In frustrating fashion, Rule 1 go 0-2 down, and Game 5 is lost. Mossen, you can't blame him for moving forwards, but the clearance from Venom, that name again, was enough to sink Rule 1.
You're right, Cole. It was an all-in moment. Mossen trying to half flip back in the air, boost straight up to get it, but it did not work. Twisted Minds now on match point.
What a time to cause the upset. There's no better situation and no better location than right here, right now in Düsseldorf.
And look who stepped up yet again for Twisted Minds. Venom scoring both goals. He's been the X factor for Twisted Minds from the very beginning, taking advantage of the defensive missteps from Rule 1 and has not let off the gas since game 1.
The player brought into the team in spring, changing Twisted Minds' situation pretty much the day that he joined. A massive acquisition, and he's just continued to show why. Twisted Minds, when he come alive, seriously look dangerous.
They are dangerous, Cole. There is no doubt about it. Twisted Minds, who came in here as the number 3 seed out of MENA. We have to remind everybody that Twisted Minds wasn't supposed to be here. It was supposed to be version 1.
It was once a one-team region even.
Yeah.
Now there's 3 of them competing.
And Rule 1, the team who did so well in Boston with their placement to bring Twisted Minds here now might have to pay the price. That is unbelievable. Twisted Minds is not supposed to win this series.
Our Champions Field's getting loud. It's only day 1. This is going to build and bubble every single day as we get further. A little bit of a quieter one. You can do better than that next time, crowd, I'm sure. But they're all locked in, James. They're ready for game 6.
And Rule 1 better be. Neo Tokyo, this might be the last map they play this season.
Wow. When you put it like that, the importance comes through, and Rule 1 have an important opening goal.
And again, it's Mawson. Mawson, on the game that they won after the timeout, he was the player who really stepped up.
Rule 1 as well from the ground. Of course it had to be a ground play, a solo play, getting past 2 Twisted Minds defenders who were left hapless in goal. 7 seconds in, it's not the start that Twisted Minds would have wanted. It might get even worse, depending on how Rule 1 attack this kickoff.
It's a long lob. Rawas demoed right after the clear. That gives Senzo space. Senzo happy to boom it. We've seen that a lot from Twisted Minds. They are happy to just boom it up towards that back wall, boom it towards the net, and play the rebounds because we've seen missed touches from Rule 1.
Senzo with a huge pre-jump, which worked out in the end because it meant the ball would fall towards Venom, who's been so effective for them so far. Kalias takes control over Mossen. Excuse me. Kalias keeps it going. He gets the floor pitch. Ruas is there. A little bit awkward there for Rule 1. Not exactly what they wanted, but they're trying these things. They're showing their box of tricks.
Will it be enough? Senzo in a race to the corner boost, grabbed it. Now hunting for a demo, hoping to clear the path. Venom. What more can Venom do? Rawas up to Clears. Clears back to his brother. Going for the top corner. And that'll be cleared out.
The Twins combined. We haven't seen it over and over again in this series. It's been more solo play based, but when they pass to one another, they have that understanding. Ruas gets in the way of Senzo. Sends it long yet again. Rule 1 not afraid of the long boom clearance themselves. Kalias puts that one into the middle. Mossan's going to beat the player. It's
open.
Kalias is all alone.
Oh, Senzo on the
can't get it. Or does get it.
There were so many demos in favor of Rule 1. You were thinking that was an open net, but Senzo books it straight towards the net to get that save on the respawn.
Venom slows things down in the center. Twisted Minds might have their equalizer here. Senzo, he can't quite connect though.
Rawas right on SMW's trail, hoping to get a mistouch or a demo. Rawas moves it over. Oh,
a misstep from Twisted Minds. You can see the mix-up. Both players in the air, neither one of them gets it.
They both called the other on. Neither one wanted it in the end. It's a massive error, and Ruas ain't gonna miss that one. 2-0 Rule 1, and they're taking it to the wire.
And that's a big mistake there for Twisted Minds. Had they been able to call that out, just send one player with confidence, that was a savable ball. But now they find themselves trailing by 2.
Senzo meets his opponent in the center. Mossan charges it down again. Rule 1 defending so aggressively right now, not letting Twisted Minds break free. Twisted Minds though do break free. Senzo shoots into the top corner. The counter-attack works.
Perfect placement from Senzo. You just have to admire this shot. Look at it.
And if Rule 1 had any misconceptions that this game was going to be an easy one, it ain't going to happen, James.
It is never that easy, Cole. Not when the stakes are this high.
Oh, so close to 2-2 from the kickoff. It still could be Venom. He went in there, wisely turned away from it, but Twisted Minds are back online. However, here's Kalias over SMW. The ball falls. Mossan turns it down now. No one getting jumpy. The composure remains high.
Venom going for the 50 in the air. Now Senzo going for a 50 as well. SMW tapping that ball back down. You can see him jostling Clears, trying to make sure Clears can't get the hit that he's wanting. SMW has a bounce in his favor. Had somebody from Rule 1 been there, that could have been much worse. Now back pinch. That works out for Twisted Minds as well.
Yeah, awkward one for Venom there. He sort of pinched it backwards, almost towards his own team, but instead it was just a little bit outside the rotation. So a failed attempt at an attack there from Twisted Minds. They'll go again though. Senzo charging down Ruas. Here's SMW. Follows it himself. Ruas is up, but he's going to be bypassed. So close to SMW getting that double tap. Couldn't quite do it, but Rule 1, the defending's looking awkward. They're so stretched. Mostan's there. SMW charges him down, and Ruas almost gets the block. Mostan finally gets the clearance.
And you saw Senzo still going for the demos. Flip reset, saved out by SMW. And now Venom in the air, buying time for his teammates. This one will be high at the midfield, a race.
Senzo up against Kalias. Every ball is met by a 50-50 at the moment. Very rare clean touches. Ruas does get one into the center with him. Mostan gets another. They're stringing some together right now, Rule 1. Is there anybody at the end of it? Ruas up against Senzo, the 50-50 game won by Twisted Minds this time. 1 minute left for Twisted Minds to send this one to overtime and beyond.
SMW contesting that ball high. Senzo doesn't make contact.
There's the pass, but Venom, it looked like he was looking for a rebound. That pass catching him by surprise, but still there's much pressure building for Twisted Minds. Senzo, high tap, he's demoed off the ball.
It's a good first touch though from him, puts Rule 1 a little bit of a pickle, but they do manage to get away from it yet again. 40 seconds now, Ruas shoots. SMW tries to charge him down. Venom completes the job, and Senzo clears long. One last chance maybe for Twisted Minds.
Senzo getting that clear and also able to pick up that mid. Venom will have to retreat back. That gives Ruas space to move in. And there's a demo, great moves from Ruas. Space now for Clears. Clears air dribble 50, out to Mostan, and Mostan will score!
Rule 1 wait their moment. They beckon Twisted Minds in and then punish them down the blue end yet again. Champions Field is beckoning. The winner is gonna take all.
And you would not have it any other way. This regional dispute, it has been an international affair here in Düsseldorf.
Yeah, been bickering all season, James. And finally, there's going to be no more chances for the final word between Twisted Minds and Rule 1. Rule 1, they're sending the ball away. The game management has been sublime here in Game 6, with all the pressure upon them. I'd say you couldn't script it, but we all knew this was happening.
You felt it coming. Rule 1, led by Mostan. 2 goals that game for Mostan, who has been that spark that Rule 1 needed offensively, has come in big. And now 2 teams that have been playing each other for what seems like forever in the MENA region. They meet here in Düsseldorf with only a single game between them and the end of their season.
It's a beautiful thing. The season going up and down, the wins, the losses, the highs, the lows, all of that now in the back mirror and in front of them. One Champions Field matchup that will rule them all. Rule 1, who did so much work to take themselves to the top of this region, suddenly Twisted Minds having the audacity to nip at their heels. And they brought them all the way here, James Bott. If they win this one, Twisted Minds outdo Rule 1 for the season.
And that is the stakes that we are talking about. Everything on the line. No more room for mistakes. We've seen mistakes on both sides. It's been a battle, back and forth. Both teams calling timeouts early in the series, having to fight through adversity. Everything they've worked for this year leading to this one game.
Everything the coach is saying to his respective team of the utmost importance. Every ball touch matters more than any other over the last 80 days plus. It's been a mammoth season, and Rule 1 at the end of it, they take the lead.
It took them 5 seconds. Ruas, a hard pass off the ceiling, and you can see Venom just a step too slow.
The handicap is what Rule 1 have. The early lead, the freebie from the kickoff. How much of a difference will it make? Sometimes on Champions Field, matches are tight. That one's going to change that. We might be in for a slugfest here as SMW rises.
Already playing from behind. Oh, we saw the defensive mishap last game with Twisted Minds.
And there's a rebound, it's looking good. Double commit from Twisted Minds. Rule 1 They're picking up the pressure.
Yeah, Twisted Mind's on the ropes early doors in Game 7. Senzo's trying to change that. He gets the demo, but not the bull. Venom, though, does take it off Kalias. And now can he wrap around this one? No, he couldn't. He was too far away. More demos flying in. It's sizzling out here. But so far, it remains 1-0 to Rule 1.
Weak bounce hit. Be right to Mawson. SMW back down. Rawas. Oh, and it looks like we have a pause come in.
You are kidding me.
Oh.
The crowd's loving that, as expected.
What a time for a pause.
Wow. That is something I was not expecting here. Not quite sure what has happened. Of course, something will have. Our admins doing a fantastic job as ever of sorting this out as fast as they can. And this just adds a dash of extra spice, James, if things were needed to become even more nervy.
And we are still waiting on word as to why that was a pause, Cole. And I mean, Game 7, season on the line. Rule 1 already up by 1. This is an interesting time to be forced to take a break. If you're Rule 1, what are you thinking?
I mean, if I'm Rule 1, right now what I'm thinking is that there's 10,000 people in here and they're rooting for us. It seems that Rule 1 are favored over here by the EU crowd. Of course, I very quickly try and push that out as the drums come in. The drums of war in Game 7. Rule 1 with the lead, the atmosphere bubbling up. But all we can do right now, James Bob, is wait. It's all we can do.
Hurry up and wait. We are in Game 7 right now. Rule 1 up 1-0. Twisted Minds got out to a hot start before Rule 1 fought back. They've traded games, and now we are going the distance. Champions Field is where everything will be decided. And so far, Rule 1, they've looked dominant out of the gate. The pass, Mawson to Rawas. Rawas able to score that single goal so far. And goals, they have been like gold, Cole. It has been neck and neck this whole way.
Yeah, and the assist for that first goal was from Mawson, a player who, you know, not everyone wants him to be playing alongside Ruas and Kalias. People will always discuss who should play with them. Mawson has more than staked his claim as deserving to be with them. Such an impressive performance back in Boston, making himself every bit as much of a star as the two he sits alongside, and the team captain as well in the middle. He'll be making just as much noise right now as their coach, and it's so important for them.
And so is communication. That is the reason the pause came out, a comms issue which has been resolved. We will restart the game at kickoff with 4 minutes and 16 seconds left on the clock. A ton of time for Twisted Minds to turn this around. Twisted Minds, they have a job to do.
It's all right, James. No one heard it. You're fine. 1-0, Rule 1. An unbelievable series so far is going to go the distance. We absolutely love it. Twisted Minds, they went a goal behind from kickoff. Maybe they can do the opposite. SMW in the corner. Kalias clears it, and Rule 1 survive a slight scare from the kickoff.
Venom's been the star for Twisted Minds. They need him now more than ever. Kalias, the MVP from Mina. Will he be what puts Rule 1 over the top?
Question as well is who dealt with that timeout better? Who's going to come out taller and stronger? Find their peak in this performance. Performance to end all performances. Senzo in the corner. Mossad. His clearance only goes backwards, and SMW can keep things going. Clears on the backboard. He clears long. Senzo's going to miss it.
That's a huge boom.
Bad mistake. SMW has to save his teammate and does. Rule 1 can still pounce though.
Oh, that was such a massive clear. You could see it through the defense off. And that follow-up ball almost touching the ceiling, but not quite. That was the only thing that kept Rule 1 from pouncing on it right away. Now there's a lot of space here for Kalias. But Kalias only a third of a tank of boost. Rawas has plenty though. Rawas in the air. Gets it up and over. There's a demo as well on the play. Venom taking out Kalias.
Yeah, an important one too. Kalias was just winding up his jump. Instead, he has to do some defending. There he is. Back home, more than comfortable in his own goal. Ruas even more comfortable. One of the goalkeepers of the world right now, Ruas. So highly regarded in defense. His attacking play has taken his team to the lead. Venom, he has SMW in front of him. Can he find him? Not quite on that occasion. SMW does get a demo though, so Rule 1 slightly open. Senzo tries to find SMW. He does, but there's no one on the right wing.
And you could see the idea, hoping that a teammate would be there. Would have been an excellent setup, but nobody there. This is not the time for nerves. This is not the time to be timid. Now is when you stand tall.
Venom up against Ruas. Venom wins that one cleanly. Twisted Mind's having the better of the challenge game at the moment. Normally Rule 1 stronghold. Wilson does have that one cleaner though towards Kalias, but another missed jump. 1 or 2 mistakes understandable in this situation. Always a little bit loose, Game 7s, as part of their appeal. As Kalias clears long. SMW high, wants to tee up himself. Chases that second one. 2 of them have gone for it, 2 of them have missed. And Senzo has to be aware.
The time is melting away. Twisted Minds, the looming sense that their season may be coming to an end. That is only going to speed them up. Desperation now will start to set in.
It was one kickoff goal, 5 seconds in, currently the difference. Almost a second one there from the passing play. Senzo's in his goal. There was a great save by someone there from Twisted Minds. Didn't quite see who, but they won't care. They'll go on to the next play. SMW into the corner, but there's not enough boost for Twisted Minds to play with. The field positions from the 3 of them, not able to find each other. And Rule 1's games management is showing forth.
SMW hoping to control. There's a pop, dodges the bump, but it was given away to Ruas. Senzo trying to clean up. There's a pass, still awkward. SMW up in the air, ball now for Venom. Venom, looking for Senzo, but Senzo couldn't get behind it.
Huge from Mossam, the brick wall time and time again for Rule 1. SMW's going for bumps, but Mossam can clear long. 50 seconds left for Twisted Minds to save their season.
Venom gets a bump, wasn't able to get the touch. SMW controlling. Oh, now it's a break. Mossam open net. He missed it, but it's cleaned up by Ruas.
A huge sigh of relief for Mossam. Flashbacks from Champions Field. Open net misses pass, but Ruas did not let him be punished.
Ruas taking no chances whatsoever. Zooming over in support and locking in that goal.
Rule 1, so close to the finish line now. They want to prove they are MENA's best team, and victories like this one is exactly how they do it. Twisted Minds will keep on coming though. Venom has a clean touch, SMW's chasing, but it's just a bit loose from him.
SMW will have to pull off something magical right now. Gets slowed down. Senzo, weak hit. Ruas trying to tip it back, but Senzo stays in the play. Huge hit from Austin, back down to the middle. And Rule 1, they were off to a slow start, but they picked up the pace.
It was never made easy by Twisted Minds, but as the drums are bashed, Rule 1 secure their spot as their region's greatest export. Can they get one more? No, they can't. It doesn't matter. Rule 1 take the series.
Rule 1, they had to fight tooth and nail. It was not an easy series for them. At times, it looked like they were down and out.